Welcome back to another Judith Unhinged. This week we'll talk about the Dutch police chasing sheep, the Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny, The Boyfriend, Wonder Man, The Office, Dexter, and we'll end with a little bit on Fallout, which I think you'll love and make you smile. So stick around for that. This is just me catching you up on my week. There are no facts given. It's just my opinion or commentary, no advice. So let's see what happened in the Netherlands this week. While the world is falling apart, the Dutch police are chasing sheep. So it happened in Wageningen. It's a little city in the Netherlands that some people really love. If you're listening, call out. 50 sheep escaped their pasture. And guess who they called? Who do you call when you have a sheep problem? No, not the owner of the sheep. No, not anybody with any knowledge of sheep. You call the police, because why not? What else do they have to do, right? So you have this footage of the police just chasing sheep around in Wageningen, trying to guide them through traffic. Eventually, they'll get them into this like schoolyard area and they gather them up. Then they call the owner. And I understand, right? There's a safety situation going on, that there's, I don't know, sheep running amok on the streets. How? I don't know, 50 sheep. How do you do this? Anyway, but then the owner comes with their trusty sheepdog and guides the sheep neatly away again to back to their pasture. Talking about a walk of shame, right? That you're the owner of those sheep, and then you've kind of made this mess in this town, and then you have to walk all the way through the town to your pasture outside of town because your sheep escaped. Not your neighbor's sheep. No, your sheep escaped, and now you have to walk that walk of shame to the pasture. I laughed so hard. It is so funny. I mean, imagine the police officer coming home. Hey, honey, what did you do today? Oh, I herded some sheep. What? That's not in the police job description, right? But in the Netherlands, it is. You have to do everything because we're a small country where nothing ever happens. What did happen was the Super Bowl, and the halftime show especially. I don't know a lot about American football. I once was in the US, and it was a Super Bowl weekend. And I arrived, and my American friends were saying, like, hey, it's Super Bowl, come watch with us and have some fun. And I was like, wait, aren't those the people with brain damage? And they were like, oh, that's the rude Dutch girl. Right, check mark. Yeah, so that's what I know about it. It's like a game where people like bash into each other and cause CTE, right? Is that it? Did I summarize it correctly? Probably not. And don't get me started on calling it American football, but it's not football. We call it football, huh? And what is it? Football with a ball and a foot. Why do you call it American football, and why do you call football soccer when the rest of the world is calling it football? Get with the program. No, the American wants to be different. Okay, sure. It's very funny. Then we have the halftime show. So that is something I know about the Super Bowl, that there's a halftime show. And like these past few years, I've been watching the halftime show and really enjoying it. So it is fun. There are some interesting performances there. But this year it was Bad Bunny. And Bad Bunny or Benito, um, I don't like his music. I don't like his music. And I'm kind of like musically slutty. Like, I listen to the 90s Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys, but then I also go into Japanese metal with Gurgamesh, which I really, really love. And then I go back to K-pop with Blackpink, who I'm slightly obsessed with, not that much. Or I'll turn on The Offspring and punk music, and then I'll go into Joey Yashi from the Ghibli music and listen to that all day. It's all over the place, and I listen to everything. I do love Bad Bunny's music when he puts a reggaeton beat on it, because basically anything with a reggaeton beat, I'm game. You've got me. It's good. But apart from that, I really don't. I'm not into it. So I was like, Bad Bunny at the halftime show. I don't know if I'll even watch it. And I was looking at my feed and thinking like, hey, where are the clips from the halftime show, right? Because normally the news explodes and there's lots of clips going around like, look at this halftime show and this exciting thing happened and these guest performances were there and it was amazing. Nothing of that in my feed. I was like, what's happening? I saw some clips of just Lady Gaga. I was like, wait, didn't Bad Bunny headline? Why am I seeing Lady Gaga? And then at some point, I saw a clip of Pedro Pascal dancing. And I was like, okay, stop it all. I'm watching this. This is amazing. Pedro Pascal is dancing in the halftime show on the Super Bowl. Let's see what's happening. So I watched it. And I have to applaud Bad Bunny. I thought it was amazing. It was smart. It was super entertaining. It had a message. He really showcased his culture and his background. I thought it was done so sophisticated, and I didn't expect that from him. Honestly, I'll be brutally honest about that. It was all in Spanish. I do know a little bit of Spanish, but I don't have that much Spanish, and especially if it goes fast and I can't really keep up. So it was like on YouTube going like, closed captions, turn it on. And then it was all in Spanish as well. It's like, I can't read that. And I think I caught like two English phrases, which were, um, what was it? Selfie. He said selfie at some point, and he said, what was it? God bless America, something like that. And that's it. I was just watching, thinking like, huh? But I understood the message. I got it, even though I'm not that great at Spanish. I understood everything he said. And I thought it was a great message. It was a big FU to ICE and the whole situation over there. Honestly, it's very worrying. If you thought the rest of the world didn't care, they do care, and they're looking at it thinking like, what? Please stay safe if you're in the US, and yeah, please stay safe. That Spanish thing though, that he did it all in Spanish, it was such a statement. Amy Poehler lately also made a statement like she wants a brain chip to teach her languages or to know different languages. I'm like, what? So let me brag for a second. I know Dutch, English, French, and German. Then I know a little bit of Spanish, como está, Italian, ciao bella, and Japanese. I got the gozaimasu. But those are really incidental and just a couple of things. The French and German thing, English you're hearing, and Dutch is my mother language. So the French and German is really much more fluent. And it's just, it create when you know a bunch of different languages, it creates very interesting situations. Like I'm watching a show in French with English subtitles, and I'm thinking in Dutch, dit is niet goed. This isn't correct. So I'm like the English translation isn't the correct translation for the French that I know. Oftentimes, when you see English subtitles, they've translated, for instance, the English of the show or of the movie, but not like the other languages. So they just translated the English that is spoken and not the if it was originally in French, they didn't translate the French into English subtitles. They only translated the English dub into subtitles. So that often creates like different, very weird situations in my brain. One thing I cannot do is I cannot talk in English, which I had to do all the time for my work, and then write things down in Dutch. That is physically impossible for me to do. I don't know what brain weirdness explosion happens with me when that situation occurs, but it's not possible. It's just not possible at all. It's very funny. It makes me think about The Boyfriend, which is set in Japan. It is such a good show. It is really such an amazing show. I can't tell you how much in love I am with the show. Well, I will tell you this week because I'm doing a full series on it, so watch out for that. But it is so chill for a reality dating show compared to all the forced formats that we have out there. Like, let's compare it to my other Love is Blind, which is giving a new season this week. And Love is Blind is very forced, right? It's a clear format. You meet people in pods, so you can't see them. Then you have the reveal. And after the reveal, as a woman, you have to go with that man that you don't know on a honeymoon and sleep together in the same room and then live together. It's so forced. Like and that's of course the interesting part. Like who's crazy enough to go on this show, right? I get it. That's what we're looking for the drama as well. We're looking for that feeling of falling in love, but it's so forced. So on The Boyfriend, you get a bunch of people together in a house for 2 months. So they live together. They each have their own room. They don't sleep together in one room. There's none of that going on. And they work together. So in this season 2, they had a coffee truck. And I think it's season 1 as well. And they get to write each other anonymous little love notes. And they get to pick who they want to work with. So 2 people go on a shift to the coffee truck, and they get to pick who they want to go with. So you pick your crush, of course. And maybe at some point you feel close enough to someone to say "skidayo," which means I like you, not I love you. Not do you want to marry me, even though I don't know you. None of that. It's just like, I like you, let's explore this. And that's really how that show works. And it creates this beautiful organic moment. And it's just so nice to see a show that is more, and I'm sure in Japan, people will look on it and judge it like, ugh, this is so disgusting or whatever. And I mean, it also features gay men, which is another thing, especially in Japan. But disregarding all of that, it's such a chill show that showcases different ways in which this can be done. Of course, it's a different culture. I don't know if anyone spoke about their experiences. There's only been 2 seasons of this. I don't know many other dating shows that have a similar, just chill vibe. Back in the day when Big Brother started, right? You also had like, let's look at these people, but that was a very forced situation as well. Well, this is a much more organic situation. So I really like it. It's really beautiful. I mean, those people are even happy about the smallest things. Like the hosts that provide commentary, who I now love, they um, say, for instance, oh, look at that beautiful snow, or see that cherry blossom. And then everybody is excited and it made their day. Don't you want to be happy like that? And be happy about the small things in life, which is really what makes life so beautiful, right? Watch the show. It's so good. You will be happy after watching that show. I'm telling you, it's so great. Then I watched Wonder Man, and I came on here and I said I'm in episode 3 and I don't like it. Maybe I even said I hated it. I don't think so, but I'm not into it, not feeling the vibe, and I will come back to you with an explanation. So, as in many cases in my life, I have to eat my own words and tell you I love it. I love this show. It is brilliant. It might be one of the best shows out there. It was around episode 5. They made some really rude jokes, and they had this situation in a candy dealer's house, and the police surrounded the house. They had to escape, and it was hilarious. It was so funny, and all of a sudden, I understood the show, and it was brilliant. It was exactly the kind of humor I like. And it was just like my mind exploded. It was so incredibly good. I will do now that I like it, I will do a series on it. I do understand now why I didn't like it. So it has a slow start. It's difficult for me to get into shows with a slow start. Um, and it depends on your mood as well. Like when I watched season 2 of Men on the Inside, I really disliked it, but I watched it straight after The Witcher, which is a very exciting show, right? You have to sort of be in the mood for something as sort of chill as Men on the Inside. It's not a spectacular show. So I don't know. It was just I think the timing was a little bit off. I had to get into it, but the show also starts very slow. I think those first 5 episodes could have been condensed, and then they could have spent way much more time on the rest. I mean that they do an entire episode on doormen, which was ding dong. It was a brilliant episode, but you know that you take the time to do an entire show on doormen just to prove a point of why supers or heroes or these supernatural beings aren't allowed in movies anymore. Okay, I get it. But why do an entire episode? Those first 5 episodes could have been condensed so that we got to the core of sort of the main issue here. And then the other thing that really bothered me is the main character, is his name Simon, Wonder Man. He has high anxiety, and I get nervous around people with high anxiety. I'm not someone who's terribly insecure. Of course, I have insecurities, but I'm sort of in Nederlands een spring in het veld. I jump into things maybe without thinking. Maybe I should think about things beforehand. So I'm a glass half full kind of person, very positive, very critical. I'm not saying that, but I don't see many. Well, I do see dangers, but I don't see many obstacles. I usually think like, oh, we can solve that. It's fine. Let's do it anyways. So I can't really relate to those people that have such anxiety that it prohibits them from doing the things that they want to do in life. I've always learned to, when I have anxiety or I think something is scary, unless it's physically dangerous, well, you just go for it because that's your way of saying, hey, this is new and this can lead to something. But, it's just a little bit scary at the beginning. That's just how I feel about that. Anyways, Wonder Man, I'm such a fan. I'll do a series on it. I'll tell you all about it. I really enjoyed it, and I can highly recommend Wonder Man to view that. Meanwhile, I'm rewatching The Office with my girls, my two daughters, and it's such a good show. It's so good. I think I've rewatched The Office almost as many times as I've rewatched my love, Xena. And it's just an amazing show. And one of my girls made the remark that it's timeless. And how come it's so timeless? So that got me thinking about it. What is it? What is it that's so timeless about this show that people of different generations can relate to it and love it, and rediscover it time and time again? And I was thinking part of it, because it's not the tech, it is timed, right? It is recorded in a certain time area. You can see that, there's big computers there. There's not the ones that we have now that are very small and tiny. The phones are like flip phones or big phones. They're not on their cell phone all the time. They have the regular phone still, which is very funny to see that in the office. Nobody has that these days. So it's not that. So what is it? And I think part of part of the timelessness of The Office is that it's about goofing around. It's about pranking each other. It's about making fun of different situations, Beats Bears and Battlestar Galactica. I think that's a huge part of it. When I think back on my life and like the period between like 15 and 20, it was such a fun period. You could just have fun, and joke around with your friends and get into some trouble and do some things that maybe you shouldn't be doing. And it was nice, and it was a very carefree time before you had all the responsibilities and everything that we have in our adult lives, and some people unfortunately much earlier. But I think that's part of it, like capturing that time when you're with that group, that core group of people, your chosen family, and you're just messing about without too many responsibilities. I think that's really, really lovely how they capture that. Then the second thing is it is about being loved. You can see it in the different characters. They all want to be loved. They all desperately want love. You see it in Michael the most, right? It's very explicit. He wants the love of a woman. He wants the love, right? A loving relationship, but he also wants the love of his colleagues. That goes above anything else for him, like above profit, above his job. He wants to be liked, to be loved, to be admired, to be cherished. And we see that even with Dwight, who's the big bad guy, but he's actually a very soft guy who also just wants to be loved by Angela, which is so, so, so cute. And then we have the big love story of Jim and Pam, who want to love each other, who want to find each other. Pam is in such a terrible relationship. And what a terrible boyfriend does she have these first few seasons and engagements. Oh, it's so bad. But they also want to be loved, and they're like showcasing to us what it is to actually love someone, to actually go that extra mile for someone, show them that you love them, and take those steps. And it's really, really, really cute. Talking about really cute, let's talk about Dexter. And I love my lovely rewatch of the show with my entire family. And we're in season 4 now, and the Trinity Killer is introduced, which is John Lithgow. And I love every single guest actor that comes on the show and that does a season. I mean, we got Odama coming up. Don't tell my daughters. I've kept that a surprise for them. Although one of them has now discovered IMDb, I think, and she's looking up like all the actors and what they've done, and she's slowly becoming me. But it's so funny because I forgot, like, John is fully naked. He's just naked all the time. We see him naked in almost every scene. Well, we just started the season, but we see him naked all the time. It's so funny. I was like, oh, I forgot about this. Look at those butt cheeks. And then Dexter just had a baby with the most annoying character, Rita. I will not spoil what happens to her. Anyways, he just had a baby, Harrison, and he's sleep deprived, and it's hard. It's hard having babies. It's hard getting pregnant, staying pregnant, having the baby, raising the child. Those first few years, I always think the people that like having babies are just psychopaths because how? Why? They're so fragile. You have to work so hard to keep them healthy and make sure they develop right. And it reminds me of Charlie XCX on Smartless, which got bashed in the media for having, I think, Jason Bateman grilling Charlie on not wanting kids. I think it's fine. The conversation was fine. I don't think it was grilling so much. She said, I don't want kids. And she formulated that really smartly by saying, I don't want kids now. I don't want kids now. Because you'd never know what happens in the future. There could be a zombie apocalypse, and Charlie is the only one who can make sure that the human race survives. So you never know. Never say never. You never know what situations happen. But she doesn't want kids, and I think that's fine. I think if you really want kids, Dexter didn't. If you really want kids, then you should go for it. If you're unsure or you don't want to, then don't go for it. Make sure you don't have kids because it's hard, people. And I love them the most. They know that, but it's hard. And everyone that tells you otherwise is a liar. Don't trust them. Maybe they're a zombie. No, they're not. Anyways, let's end with a little bit of joy like every time. And we'll talk a little bit more about Fallout. I ended my series yesterday. And I don't understand how my algorithm hasn't spammed me with this. I think there's something wrong with it. Because there's a Fallout fake talk show. And it's brilliant. And look it up. It's all over their socials. And it's the snake oil salesman in fake interviewing people in a late night format. And sometimes it's Thaddeus, my beloved Thaddeus, I love you so much, interviewing cast members. And it's just so funny the way Walter Goggins comes on and he's like, this isn't really a show, is it? It's stupid, isn't it? You don't even have an audience. He's like so stuck up in it. And they put Thaddeus, I'm sorry, I forgot the actor's name, but they put him up and they say like that he's the most terrible person ever. It's just so awkward. It's such an awkward, funny little show that they created on the side, and I love it. Go watch it. It will put a smile on your face and you'll like it. So that's it for episode 5. I hope you enjoyed it, and come back next week. Bye, everyone.